My name's Nick Luxmoore. This is a short extract from my book called Young People in Love and in Hate, which is published by Jessica Kingsley Publishers. This extract, I'm just going to begin with a short anecdote before starting a section called Love and Shame. A few days before he leaves school, Andrew comes into my counselling room and sits down, sweating slightly. I'm going to tell you something I've never told anyone before. I feel a mixture of dread and excitement. His eyes whirl. I can hardly say it. He swallows, hesitates. I think I'm gay. Well, I know I'm gay. He looks beseechingly at me, and I feel as if I've just been offered someone's life to look after. Love and shame. Andrew's courage is impressive because young people are more afraid of being shamed than anything else. They'll try to be invisible, they'll make jokes, tease, criticise, bully other people, anything to avoid the shameful spotlight being turned on themselves, because shame is crippling. Young people are shamed when other people mock their sexuality, laugh at their mistakes, compare them unfavourably with others, criticise the way they look, strip away their privacy, or belittle their attempts to look big or cool or clever or attractive. Young people aren't born unconfident, but their confidence gets taken away from them. And they may not do it on purpose, but adults often use shame as a way of controlling young people. As a tactic, it works every time, because the threat of shame, of being embarrassed in public, will persuade young people to back down and do as they're told. So I talk about this a lot with young people in counselling. How did you lose your confidence? Who took it away? What happened? At the time, what did you feel like saying to the people involved? Their answers are primed and ready. I felt like telling them all to fuck off. I felt like saying, well, you're not that great yourself, are you? I felt like running away. I felt like going and putting a brick through his window. I felt like getting my own back. If I'd had a knife, I'd have killed him. Sexual shame leaves an especially bitter legacy. Good sex education may reduce young people's anxiety about sex and need to shame others, but beneath all that, the fear of not being loved and of not being lovable is an even greater anxiety. Erin says she hates her boyfriend. He stood there and told me I was a slag in front of all his mates. And when I asked him what I was supposed to have done wrong, he just laughed in my face. She shakes her head in disbelief. God, I hate him so much. I ask how long they've been together. Too long. We started going out at Natalie's party, which was last month, so, I don't know, about a month? Something like that. But I don't know what I ever saw in him. I'm never going to speak to him again. He's a complete fucking bastard. What did you see in him? Nothing. Then she stops to think about it. Well, I suppose he's quite good looking if you like that sort of thing. But the trouble is he knows it, the big-headed bastard. And for 20 more minutes she continues her rant. It's time for us to end. I'm not going to phone him, she says. He'll have to phone me if he wants to speak. I'm not phoning him. Erin is hurt and angry because she's been shamed. Underneath everything, she yearns to be loved, really and reliably. Rhiannon also yearns to be loved, but has learned to take nothing for granted. She's been told by her mother that she's fat and ugly, so doesn't go home much anymore, but spends a lot of the time at the house where Jezza lives with his girlfriend and their small son. He's just a friend, she tells me earnestly, but we get on really well. I know he's a lot older than me, but he says he likes having me around. She watches television with him and makes meals for him when Jezza's girlfriend's at work. Don't look at me like that, she says, grinning wildly. There's nothing going on. He wouldn't fancy me anyway. Of course she fancies him, I think to myself. But I don't say anything because the fear of some kind of shameful exposure is always present in the counselling room. Will my counsellor see through me? If I tell him something, will he laugh at me? Will he embarrass me? Will he think I'm stupid? I wait for another young person, Patrick, about whom I've heard terrible, violent things. It's our first counselling appointment, and when he doesn't appear, I go looking for him, my own anxiety rising. I find him waiting in the wrong place, shuffling about, avoiding my eye. Slung over his shoulder, clearly visible inside its padded nylon case, is an electric guitar. I feel encouraged. I regularly ask boys, "What kind of music do you like? Which bands do you like? What's your favourite song?" Not dwelling on their replies, but making a mental note, because they're telling me something important about themselves. Music is important for so many boys because it says something about power and vulnerability, something they can't say with words, but can recognise in drums and guitars, in huge waves of sound like motorbikes, like jet engines on a runway, and a plaintive voice buried away somewhere singing something about love. I did it because of what they said about my girlfriend, says Patrick. Your girlfriend? Yeah, well, she's sort of my girlfriend. We're going out together, only her parents don't know, and we hadn't told anyone yet. Because? I don't know, he says, embarrassed. Because she's younger than me. He's 14. It emerges that his girlfriend is 11, and the boys he attacked with a baseball bat were making jokes about him and his girlfriend having sex. We hadn't even talked about that, he says indignantly. I ask if he's been out with girls before, and he says, not really, meaning no. So this is his first girlfriend, and she's 11. He seems fond of her, but other boys have obviously found out and started making jokes about him being a child molester, upsetting Patrick, who probably worries about sex as much as any 14-year-old. One advantage of having an 11-year-old girlfriend is that she's unlikely to be bothered about sex. So he got a baseball bat, found the boys and hit them with it as many times as possible before being pulled away. I don't regret it, he said. I'd do it again. Because you were protecting her? Yeah. Because you love her? I think so. I ask him, what did you feel like saying to them, Patrick? If you could have made them listen, what would you have said? He takes some coaxing because he isn't good with words, but slowly he talks about feeling embarrassed, about it being none of their business, about them laughing and going on and on and on, and about a song he likes. Apparently it's a song about a little man fighting back and earning everyone's respect. I'm learning to play it on the guitar, he says. I hope you like the book.